Title: Shrouded Descent. The night had fallen like a thick, oppressive shroud over the small, forgotten town of Ravenswood. Its dimly lit streets were cloaked in an eerie silence, broken only by the distant howl of wind and the soft rustling of leaves. Few dared to venture out after dark, for whispers of the town's dark history echoed through the minds of its residents like a haunting refrain. At the heart of Ravenswood stood the abandoned Letham House, a mansion whose decaying facade seemed to fester with the weight of its secrets. It was here, in the dead of night, that a group of curious teenagers had gathered. Drawn by a morbid fascination with the macabre, they sought to unravel the mysteries that clung to the house like a suffocating fog. Emma, a headstrong and skeptical young woman, led the group. She held a flickering lantern that cast eerie shadows on the faces of her companions. Michael, the group's jock with a penchant for bravado, followed closely behind. Beside him walked Sarah, a bookish and cautious girl who couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. Finally, there was Alex, the group's tech-savvy prankster, who seemed oddly unfazed by the ominous atmosphere. As they entered Letham House, the air grew heavy with the stench of decay and mildew. The wallpaper peeled away like festering skin, revealing the house's festering soul. Emma's lantern illuminated a grand, cobweb-covered staircase that led downwards into darkness. It was as if the very bowels of the earth were beckoning them to descend. "Hey guys, I found something," Alex called from a corner of the room, his voice betraying an unsettling enthusiasm. He held a tattered journal in his hands, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and chilling drawings. Sarah's eyes widened as she peered over Alex's shoulder. "That looks like some kind of ritual. Maybe this house was used for dark practices." "Ritual or not, we've got to find out what happened here," Emma declared, her determination masking her unease. Descending the creaking stairs, the group found themselves in a dimly lit chamber. The walls were adorned with grotesque paintings that seemed to depict unspeakable horrors. At the center of the room lay an ornate, obsidian altar, adorned with strange markings and surrounded by flickering candles. Michael's bravado wavered as he stared at the altar. "This is messed up, guys. We should get out of here." Before anyone could respond, the ground trembled beneath them, and the room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. A cold wind swept through the chamber, extinguishing the candles one by one. The room plunged into darkness, and terror gripped the hearts of the four friends. Suddenly, a ghastly figure emerged from the shadows, its form barely discernible. It was a specter of anguish and torment, eyes hollow and malevolent. Its chilling voice echoed through their minds, recounting tales of suffering and despair that had unfolded within these walls. The group huddled together, paralyzed by fear, as the apparition's ghastly tales continued. It seemed to feed on their terror, growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation pushed them to make a reckless decision. Emma held the journal in her trembling hands and began reciting the symbols and incantations written within. The air grew thick with tension as the incantation reached its climax. With a final, guttural utterance, the apparition let out a bone-chilling wail and dissipated into the darkness. The room fell silent once more, and the trembling friends realized that they had narrowly escaped the clutches of unspeakable horror. They fled the house, their hearts heavy with the weight of the darkness they had encountered. As they stumbled out into the moonlit night, a sense of unease lingered. The darkness within Letham House had been but a reflection of the darkness within themselves. The boundaries between the living and the dead had been blurred, and the echoes of pain and suffering would forever haunt their souls. Ravenswood remained shrouded in its secrets, a town forever marked by the morbid descent of those who dared to confront its malevolent past.